Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Lower Speeds live class. We'll go ahead and get started with some common words. Okay. All right, here we go. Ready? Best, without, notice, stay, care, reach, realize, follow, decide, kind, she's, grab, heed, show, inside, suddenly, father, rest, herself, grin, hour, hope, also, body, might, hadn't, continue, floor, it's, ran, across, hold, cry, half, pretty, great, course, mouth, class, kid, miss, wonder, morning, least, nice, dark, slowly, done, change, question, doesn't, together, yet, anyway, bad, blue, believe, weak, God, lip, Mr., sleep, fine. All right. My next drill is going to focus on the apostrophe S, which you're going to write as AEZ. Here we go. Ready? She needed children's clothes. Have you seen Paula's car? Lester's party was last night. I want a dress like Carol's. Mr. Johnson's secretary called. We ate at Joe's Cafe. Don's house needs painting. You can use Robert's printer. Bob's car is in the shop. Janet's garden needs weeding. I wish I had a voice like Jen's. Where is the men's department? I really like all Pat's ideas. Did you see John's new puppy? Ron's house really needs painting. She borrowed Marla's dress. Hi, Pandora. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I got your message, but I was getting my dogs all situated, so
No problem.
you're not too late. I was thinking you were gonna, when you said you were running late, I thought, oh, I was expecting like way later.
Oh, the cars on the Scott Road off ramp were backed up all the way to the freeway, so it hasn't been like that in a while. It's like, but we got up to the light pretty quick. I was surprised. So
Good. I wonder if it's because Christmas is coming up and more people are going shopping in that center.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would think that they would get off at Newport for that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, well, you made it. Yay. Okay. Moving into our next drill, we've got the following abbreviations. We've got ambulance, which is Blance, hospital, HOPT, treatment is just TRAEMT, emergency, initial M, final J, patient, P long A S H T, and medical, MED.
I'm going to write patient down real quick because I don't think I had that one.
Yeah, that's like, it's like a squeeze.
P long A
RBT.
RBT. Okay.
Yeah,
Oop,
that's
I put E. I'll just put long A. I can never remember which letters. I mean, I know on my machine, but writing that, it's like, what's long? It's
yeah.
AEU. Okay,
AEU.
that's
Yeah,
right.
I do the
Yeah, thank
same thing. It's like, wait, let me think here. Or sometimes I'll I don't know if you ever do this, but if I'm writing a letter or something out, sometimes I'll write instead of I'll do EU. And it's like, oh my gosh, not everybody reads steno, It just sometimes it happens that way.
How
So
funny.
yeah. Okay, here we go. Ready? His medical report was a cause for worry. Did you spell the medical terms correctly? You must bring in a medical excuse. Has he been checked out medically? Medically speaking, he is just fine. John is well trained medically. Not one patient has been on time today. I was a patient there for over 2 years. Please be patient and wait quietly. The waiting room was filled with patients. Those patients always pay their bills. 10 patients are waiting in the hallway. The ambulance sped down the street. The patient died while in the ambulance. The ambulance driver avoided the car. The car had blocked the 2 ambulances. 2 ambulances were parked out front. Several ambulances raced to the scene. She delivered the baby at Mercy Hospital. He said he would not go near a hospital. Was the hospital staff very helpful? Hospitals have always frightened her. Did you see the reports on the hospitals? I have been admitted to several hospitals. Will you need to hospitalize him? They hospitalize the really sick. We should hospitalize him right away. Sabrina was hospitalized for a week. Were you ever hospitalized before? Are you thinking of hospitalizing him? Have they been hospitalizing such cases? Have you been hospitalized before? They are hospitalizing for observation. What are the benefits of hospitalization? He did not recommend hospitalization. Hospitalization is very expensive. Take him to the emergency room now. Is this really an emergency or not? Please do not use the emergency exit. Are you ready for the emergencies? They are prepared for the emergencies. Emergencies are always handled quickly. He went to Dr. Watson for treatment. That concussion needs treatment. There is a new treatment for it. She had several treatments for her back. He was given ultrasound treatments. The heat treatments were effective. All right. Let's see here. Now we've got an initial drill. So using our RBGS, here we go. Call P.L. Colts, MD, at the AMA. Reach W.S. Hanks, PhD, at the TVA. J.D. Johnson, B.S., works for CPA. F.R. Atkins works for the PTA. Call R.V. Wills, BA, at the NLRB. Reach N.D. Phelps, CPA, at the IRS. L.E. Walker works for CBS. C.M. Cutter works for the CDC. Call H.M. Brown, RN, at the FDA. Reach B.T. Marvin, DDS, at UCLA. H.A. Miller works for the UN. I don't know if I gave you this one. T.Z. Smith. No? Oh, good. Okay. T.Z. Smith works for NBC.
NBC.
Yeah. When I saw that CBS, NBC, I was thinking about Matt Lauer.
Oh.
Crazy. Crazy.
Who knows?
I know. You never know. All right. Moving into a number drill. So these are going to be items and prices. Okay. All right. Here we go. Safety strobe light. Oh, and it's got the item number too. So that's kind of cool. J09851. $12.25. Flashlight holder. A12062. $8.98. Portable heater. C08517. $45.98. Wood brackets. Y08307. $17.50. Chimney damper. T60909. $64.95. Faucet repair kit. L10191. $8.95. Chainsaw file. I045 61. $22.50. Silent humidifier R07186. $119.95. Bench grinder N10789. $165.50. Sawhorse brackets O08047. $16.75. Radial tire gauge W10839. $19.90. All right. So I have more car accident terms. Some of them are the same that we've already gone over, but some of them are different. So it's from a different handout. Okay, so we're going to go over those. All right. If there's anything you don't know, like a brief, let me know. Okay. All right. Accident, driveway, engine, bumpers.
What's engine?
Oh, engine, I write out.
Okay.
Yeah. Not all of them have brief.
Okay.
But if there, if there's one you go, I know there's a brief for that, just ask me. But yeah, engine.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless somebody does gin. Well, no, because that would conflict with gin. I drink gin.
Or you could, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Wheel, seat belt, carburetor, siren, traveling, tracks, green, red, yellow, barrier, vehicle, crosswalk, intersection.
Intersection is NERCS, right?
NERCS.
Okay.
Yep. Witness, driver, curb, berm, condition, pedal, injuries, ambulance, ditch, pothole, whiplash, road, swerve, fishtail, distance, street, curve, bicycle, automobile, control, bruises, corner, strain, injuries, auto, struck, injured, sprain, doctor, police, tail light, on-ramp, curbing, decelerate, accelerate, off-ramp. All right, and I'll finish the rest in the morning. The rest of those. Let me see here. How are we doing on time? Yeah, I'll go ahead and start our literary. Well, yeah, I'll go ahead and start literary.
You're the boss.
Well, I always pull so much, and then I only go through like a fraction. Unless do you want to hear some Tangle Tamers?
No.
Okay.
Just go into literary. It's either that or literary. Two of my favorites.
Okay. How about you want some medical words?
Whatever you want. I'll let you choose.
Yeah. Okay. We'll go to literary.
I did a 60 test today. Ooh, 60. But I couldn't remember how I need to like change it and stuff like that. I have to ask Robert. And then I
Oh,
thought,
you edit it?
no, well, I edited it, but I don't know how to submit it. I don't remember, because don't you have to convert it to like PDF, or
Huh?
I don't remember how to do that. So
And did you use CaseCat or did you use?
yeah.
Okay, how was that? Was it?
Well, it's probably not going to look the right format. Like when I do like defense or whatever, it doesn't say by
Huh.
Mr. Ifpelt. It just says Mr. Ifpelt. So I added that in there, and then it doesn't. And see, I don't do witness. When we did theory, all I do is the answer.
Right.
So I figure I'll figure that out down the line
Oh yeah, because you'll know
somewhere.
like when the witness is responding to the questioning attorney or when he's just answering like the court or
Right.
you
But
know.
I need to know the format. You know what I mean? Because it comes up as Q&A, and yet I can't go in there and change it and
Oh, I
tab it over and
oh I
stuff
see.
like
So you were
that.
having a hard time like getting it to tab over and
Yeah,
change
it won't
the
do
format.
that. I mean, it let me do the I added I did the byline, but it won't let me, and like the Q and the A are all the way over to the margin.
Okay.
So I don't think I haven't really messed with it, to be honest with you, but I don't think it'll let me tab it over and like change the A to witness. And,
Okay.
there's so much about Case Cat that I still don't know.
Yeah. And
So,
yeah, it's just a matter of
yeah,
figuring.
well, I never really had a class in it because they didn't
Yeah.
offer it
Yeah.
the short time that I was in at the Texas school. And but that'll come after the theory class, right, with
That's
platinum
right.
steno.
That's
So
right. Because
he's gonna
everybody's
have to
gonna have
drag
to know.
Linda in here
That's
and
right.
do a transcript class. So
That's right. Yeah, because
I'm
she
gonna
was.
have to tell Robert, okay, after theory you need
Yes,
the transcript. So
that's right. Yeah, because they're gonna have to know how to do that, you know.
yeah.
So yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, I'm excited just to, submit it and I'll grade it for you. And I can, I don't know, I can grade it for like punctuation
Right.
and you can,
Right.
just see how you did. And
I have to remember how to convert it. I've got, I
okay,
don't, yeah. So otherwise I would just send it to you. So,
yeah,
and
okay,
do you need to know like because I did it off of a 60, uh, like a certain unit, you know what I mean? Do you need
right.
to know the unit?
Yes, if you could
And
do that,
okay,
that would be great because it just
okay.
kind of makes it nice. Because if I
Yeah.
have a
Oh
question,
yeah.
like, oh, the way it was said, a comma might go here, so I can always go back and look.
Right.
I know exactly like
Right.
what modular it was in, and
Yep.
yeah, yeah. So okay, well that's good. All right, so I have an article here. It's called "Poltergeist or Only a Teenager." Yeah, interesting.
Timely.
All right, so here we go. And we won't finish this today, but I'll finish it tomorrow. Okay, we'll
Okay.
do half today and half tomorrow. All right, so I'll read this at 80. Okay. All right. Overnight, 14-year-old Tina Resch of Columbus, Ohio, seemingly became possessed of a strange power that could make objects fly through the air. Lights flick on, heavy furniture move. Researchers came to study the case, but they couldn't agree. Was this a poltergeist at work? Did Tina have paranormal powers? Or was she just a mischievous teenager pulling off the hoax of the decade? And then it says, read her story and decide for yourself. So here we go. It began on a quiet Saturday morning, March 3rd, 2004. Joan Resch was loading the dishwasher after breakfast for 8. Herself, husband John, son Craig, 25, adopted daughter Tina, 14, and 4 foster children ranging in age from 6 months to 6 years. She had turned off the lights in the empty dining room, but now they were on again. So were the lights in the deserted and previously unlighted hallway with no one upstairs. The shower began to run. Joan, a lively blonde woman in her mid-50s, is the mother of 6, 4 born to her and 2 adopted. Over the past 30 years, she has cared for more than 250 foster children. She wears an almost constant smile, but this morning it was beginning to fade. Back in the kitchen, the washer and dryer sounded odd, and Joan could see by the dials that they were going through their cycles too fast. The hands on the clock raced wildly. Joan joined Tina and the foster children in the family room. The TV was on. I know you told me to turn it off, Tina said, but it just came back on. Tina unplugged it. The TV still played. Tina is a pleasant looking girl with strong features and layered light brown hair, a teenager not quite at ease in a body that is 5'9" and still growing. Mother and daughter stayed together, waiting for John Resch to return from an errand. John, a man of impressive girth and few words, listened to their story of household appliances apparently gone haywire. When he called an electrician, there was an odd noise on the cell phone. According to both men, almost a howl. To veteran electrician Bruce Claggett, the Resch's problem sounded like a faulty main breaker switch with the electricity, but he found the switch in perfect working order. Maybe some electronic interference, he said, but individual lights still seem to be controlled by their respective wall switches, which went from off to on by themselves. He went from room to room, taping the switches down. But before he could make a full swing through the house, the first lights were on again, and the tape had disappeared. I taped them again and again, he said. I went through 2 rolls of tape and then tried adhesive bandages. The lights continued to turn on. He taped the 4 kitchen switches and stood guard over them. Everybody in the family was where I could see them, and no one could have touched a switch. The lights came back on. After 3 hours, Claggett gave up. I had a strange feeling I never want to have again, he says. That evening, he called John Resch. The lights seem to be okay now, John told him, but something worse is happening. Things are flying through the air. Pictures tumbled from their hooks. A treasured set of stemware crashed piece by piece from its display shelf. Chairs seemed to move on their own, and couches upended themselves. Bewildered, the Resches called the police, and 2 officers arrived to hear their story. You need help, one officer said, but it's not the kind we can give. That night, the family stayed together, some sleeping on the sofas in the family room, and the others in sleeping bags on the floor. The next day, the Resches thought they had a clue. John remembered that on Saturday, there had been an hour of calm while Tina was out visiting a friend. On Sunday morning, the trouble started again when she awoke. I'm not making it happen, Tina insisted. I'm not doing it on purpose. And they hadn't seen her do anything. Saturday, in fact, a candlestick had taken flight and hit Tina on the head. Was it a poltergeist? I don't believe in such things, Jones said, finding another name for it. A force, she called it. Maybe Tina can't control it, but that's what it is. They called their Lutheran minister, and he agreed to conduct a blessing of the dwelling. He lighted a candle and walked through the house, saying a prayer in each room. When he left, though, the disturbances continued. On Monday morning, Joan Resch called Mike Hardin, a Columbus Dispatch columnist who had written about the family and their hundreds of foster children. She hoped Hardin would know where she could turn for help. I don't believe in the supernatural, Hardin told Joan when he arrived at the house. For a while, he talked quietly with the family. Then a mug of hot coffee seemed to move on its own, spilling into Tina's lap. Magazines fell mysteriously from a table. Mike called for a photographer. Okay, so we'll stop there.
Ooh,
I know.
scary stuff.
Crazy, huh?
I'm going to mute myself for a second.
Okay. Oh, here. There you go.
It's okay. I muted myself. No, the TV was on too loud, and so I mean, sometimes it was kind of distracting me.
Oh yeah, that's tough. All right, so now we'll go on to jury charge, and we'll finish that tomorrow morning and find out what happens.
So I just have to say, she doesn't believe in the supernatural, yet she has a Lutheran minister. It's like,
I wondered if you turned and looked at the camera when I said
no, I'm going to have to go back to the recording. Why? What did you look like?
I wondered when I said that, like when she said, I don't believe in the supernatural, but then she had a Lutheran minister.
Yeah, I mean, okay, you're religious and you don't.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
He's there.
I'm trying to think of a book I read once. What was it called? If I can't think of it now, I'll think of it later and tell you. But it was an amazing book about, just all the things that happen that we don't even see.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
Ooh, I'd love to read that.
Oh yeah, I will. I have it in I took a picture of it on my phone too, so I'd always have it. Okay, so I'm going to give you some jury instructions. And you're going to hear, let's see, Denise Lee, Martin Bryan, Craig Roger, Matrix Systems, Companionship, Michelle Ray, Alfred Schuster, Poverty, Premature, Decedent.
What was that one?
Decedent, like the decedent, like the heirs.
Descendant.
Yes, yeah, descendant.
Oh, yes. Okay.
But the I think it's. I think once they pass, it's decedent. I think.
Oh, really?
I'll have to look it up.
Oh,
I'll look it up. Yeah. Because I know there's descendant and then there's decedent. I'll have to look it up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll look it up. And then we have expectancy, compensation, deceased, natural, heirs, that's on there, sorrow and grief. Okay. All right. Yeah, Decedent. Decedent.
I'll have to look it up.
And what did you say? Descendant?
Yeah.
Yeah,
what the difference is.
And there's no, this one's DECEN. No, I'm sorry, DECEDENT.
Oh.
Hold on a second. I'm going to give you the DECEDENT. Decedent. A person who has died.
Oh. So, okay, so I guess it's not similar to descendant, but just another word for deceased or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
in fact,
interesting.
I just, let me see here. I just had her say it. Let me see here. See if she'll say it again.
Decedent.
Yeah, decedent.
Decedent.
So, okay. I know.
Interesting.
I'm always looking up stuff.
Cool.
I'm always,
Okay.
every day, it's like something, I learn something new every day. All right, I'm going to read this at 80, okay? All right, here we go. The heirs of Alfred Schuster, the deceased, are the real parties of interest in this action. They are Michelle Ray, the widow, and Denise Lee, age 12, Craig Roger, age 10, and Martin Bryan, age 6, the minor children of the deceased. If, under the court's instructions, you find that the plaintiffs are entitled to recover against the defendant, Matrix Systems, you will award as damages such a sum of money as will be just compensation for the loss which each of the heirs has suffered by reason of the death of Alfred Schuster, the deceased. In determining the amount of such a loss, you may consider the reasonable financial support, if any, which each of the said heirs would have received from the deceased if he had lived, and the right to receive support, if any, which each of said heirs has been deprived of by reason of his premature death. Let me just note that the right of one person to receive support from another person is not destroyed by the fact that the former does not need the support, nor by the fact that the latter has not provided it. You must also consider the following. 1, the age of the deceased and of each of the heirs. 2, the health of the deceased and each heir immediately prior to his death. 3, the relative life expectancy of Alfred Schuster and of each of the heirs. 4, the disposition of the deceased to contribute financially to support each of the said heirs. 5, the earning capacity of the deceased. 6, the habits of investment and thrift of the deceased. 7, other facts shown by the evidence that indicate specific benefits each heir might reasonably have been expected to receive from the deceased had he lived out his normal natural life. In regard to life expectancies, you should only be concerned with the shorter of the two, that of an heir or that of the decedent. You will award reasonable compensation for the loss of love, for companionship, for comfort, for affection, for solace, or for moral support. In determining the loss which each heir has suffered, You are not to consider the pain or suffering of the decedent, any grief or sorrow of his heirs, or the poverty or relative wealth of any or all of the heirs. Also, you should include in any award an amount that will compensate for reasonable funeral expenses. Okay,
Yowza.
yeah. So that makes sense. So it's, the judge says don't consider the suffering of the decedent, so the person that died. So that part makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah. I know it's one of those, I kind of thought that's what it was, but sometimes I doubt myself and then I look it up. It's like, oh, okay, yep, that's what it is. Someone who died. So, okay, let's go on to Q&A. This is going to be we're going to start off with plaintiff. Okay. And you are going to hear utilities, overhead, increase, expenses, adjustment. Okay, and let's see. Oh, you're gonna hear plaintiff, PLF, agreement, GR long EMT. I don't know, YON. Okay, and I'm gonna read this one time at 80, and then I'll read it again at 100. Okay.
All right.
All right, because it's just Q&A. Here we go. What did you say to the plaintiff, and what did the plaintiff say to you? That the expenses had gone up and that some adjustment should be made. Were the utilities mentioned? Yes. What was said? That they were nearly double. In what time span? Over the 3 years. Did he give you the figures? Yes, he did. Can you remember what they were? No, not exactly. What did you tell the plaintiff? That I did not know why there was such a large increase. Did you have any written agreement with the plaintiff? I believe that it could be called a written agreement. Was that written agreement prepared by the plaintiff? I don't know. Do you have a copy of the written agreement that you have referred to? I don't know. I don't know whether I have a copy or not. In general, what does it say? It says that the utilities and other overhead expenses should be shared between the parties. Did it say anything else that you can recall? No, not that I recall. Do you recall any figures at all that were mentioned to you? I don't believe I do. Can you remember the date that the plaintiff told you the increase? No. All right. Now, do you like to phrase can you remember, KUR?
I don't think I did. I think I may have done can you? And then I just came back for remember.
Okay. Yeah, you can always do that. KUR, kind of like will you remember? Like LUR.
Excuse me. Huh.
I don't believe YOBL.
I still don't like those.
You don't?
No.
How about
I mean,
do you recall DOURL?
I always forget that one. I remember do you remember is DOUR. So I've got to remember do you recall. Yeah, I
Okay.
should do that one.
Yeah, that's a good one because
And do you know? That
yes.
one's always
Oh yeah, all the
yeah.
time. And then exactly, I think he said exactly. That's XAL.
I think I do a lot of my X words.
Yeah.
I use a Z, and
Oh,
I'll just do like exactly or
okay.
something. Now that's
Okay.
2 strokes, but like exhibit, I do ZIB. That's what I do for
Okay.
exhibit.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah,
Yep.
that works.
Yep.
That's fine. All right. So I'll read it again at 100. Okay. Here we go. What did you say to the plaintiff, and what did the plaintiff say to you? That the expenses had gone up and that some adjustment should be made. Were the utilities mentioned? Yes. What was said? That they were nearly double. In what time span? Over the 3 years. Did he give you the figures? Yes, he did. Can you remember what they were? No, not exactly. What did you tell the plaintiff? That I did not know why there was such a large increase. Did you have any written agreement with the plaintiff? I believe that it could be called a written agreement. Was that written agreement prepared by the plaintiff? I don't know. Do you have a copy of the written agreement that you have referred to? I don't know. I don't know whether I have a copy or not. In general, what does it say? It says that the utilities and other overhead expenses should be shared between the parties. Did it say anything else that you recall? No, not that I recall. Do you recall any figures at all that were mentioned to you? I don't believe I do. Can you remember the date that the plaintiff told you the increase? No. All right. Now, we will go ahead and I'm going to read a regular transcript. This is, let's see here. That's a brand new one. Not that we started. Yeah, I'll read this one. It's Monday. All right, so this is going to also be plaintiff, but defense one comes in as well as defense two. Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I'll read this at would you like it at 80 or 100? How about if I start at 80 and work my way to 100? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just flow into it.
Okay. Here we go. Mr. Gailey, could you please state and spell your name for the record. Stephen Gailey, Gailey. My name is Andy Photo, and I represent Daniel Covarrubias. My daughter has a friend named last name Covarrubias, and I went, oh no, regarding an incident that occurred in March of 2013. Are you familiar with Daniel? Yes, I know him. The nature of these proceedings are known as a deposition. Have you ever taken a deposition before? No, I haven't. Okay, I'm going to lay down a few ground rules so we have a clear understanding of what's going to transpire here this morning. The person sitting to my left, to your right, is a certified shorthand reporter. She has just given an oath to you. It's the same oath you would take if you were testifying in a court of law. Do you understand that? Yes, I do. Even though a judge and jury are not present, it's the same oath. Do you understand that? Yes, I do. If you note, she has a little machine in front of her today, and she'll transcribe her cryptic notes into readable English. You will have an opportunity to read through your testimony. You may make any changes or corrections that you deem necessary. Do you understand that? Yes, I do. I must caution you, if you make any material change later on when you read your transcript, and maybe you change a word from black to white, I may ask why you made that change. Do you understand that? Yes, I do. Okay, I'm not here to trick or fool you, okay? I just want to know the facts. Okay. Can you tell me where you live as of now? 19854 Kingswood Lane in Huntington Beach, California, 91854. How long have you lived at Kingswood Lane? Just under a month. Prior to Kingswood Lane, where did you reside? I lived in Paramount, California. For how long? 8 years. From 2007 to March of 2014. Do you remember when in 2007 you moved in? No, not exactly. The month. Okay. Did you own or rent? I owned. You purchased it from the Fords? Yes. Were you present when this incident involving Daniel occurred? No, I wasn't. Do you have any information as to what time it occurred? It was late afternoon. Do you have any information as to what the date of this incident was? I don't recall. March of 2013 sound correct? Yes, I think. Okay. In March of 2013, were you employed? No, I wasn't. On the day of this incident in the afternoon, do you recall where you were? Yes, I was out checking on a job. Your usual occupation is what? Auto mechanics. Okay. Do you have a son, Stephen Jr.? Yes, I do. About the same age as Daniel? I'm unsure of Daniel's age, but my son is 8 years old. Had Daniel ever been to your residence prior to this incident? Yes. Do you recall how many times? Quite a few times. Just knocked on the door and asked for my son. At the time of this incident, do you know where Daniel lived? I don't know the actual. I could knock on his door. He was about 3 or 4 houses away. I believe he's on Summit, which is real close. I live right by the corner. Okay. March of 2013, was there a pile of bricks in your backyard? Not to my knowledge. Was there a pile of bricks in your front yard? No. At the time of this incident, do you know who was present at your residence? My son was home and my 2 nieces were walking back from my neighbor's house 2 doors down. Can you tell us your nieces' names? Crystal Gailey and Belinda Cook. Crystal is how old? She's 17 now. Do you know where she resides? Where does she live? With me at the Kingswood house. And Belinda? She lives with me too. How old? 15 years old. Do you know if either Crystal or Belinda, strike that? Do you know if Crystal witnessed this incident? I don't know for sure. All I know is from what she told me. They were walking from the neighbor's house at the time this happened. That would be true for Belinda also, that you don't know whether she witnessed it or not? Correct. Did your son, Steve Jr., witness the incident? I don't know. Do you recall what time it was that you first understood something happened to Daniel at your residence? I don't know the time at all, no. Like I said, I was just returning from checking on a job, so I don't even know what time it was. All right, how was that?
So.
Okay.
Yeah. What is, I know that there's a brief for incident. Isn't there? Let me
Let's
look in my
see.
book here.
Yeah, I just do instant, but I know I'm thinking that people use SDENT.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because you don't want to just do dent, because then of course
Right.
it conflicts. But I want to say I've heard SDENT, which is actually the Z, so Zent.
Oh, that's a good idea too. Zent. Oh, I don't know. I've got so many I's because of I don't know. I don't, maybe I don't have one. That tripped me up throughout that whole thing.
Yeah, incident.
Hmm. I'm gonna have to write Zent down. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Because a lot of times they don't say accident; they say incident.
Right.
You know.
Okay. Yay.
So yes, well, good. Well, today's Monday, so
And I'm hungry.
yeah,
You're not yourself when you're hungry.
that's right. That's right. That's tough when you're hungry. And
Yeah.
you work today, right?
No, not today.
Okay, I don't know
No,
why.
not until Wednesday.
Okay. Well, so
So,
we're on for
yep,
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Okay. That sounds
Yep.
good.
I know. Well, first we have class.
That's right. So
And
I get to
then-
see you in the morning,
Yeah.
and then I'll see
And
you
then-
tomorrow.
Yeah, and we'll see Nora too and Butters, I guess.
Hey.
So,
That's
very cool.
awesome.
I know. It'll be a lot of fun.
I
I
know.
hope it's not too windy so dress warm because it's cold out there right now, So,
Yeah, it was cold today. That wind was
Mhm.
cold today.
Yeah, it's supposed to be breezy tomorrow and cooler tomorrow. So just dress warm just in
Okay.
case we need to sit outside.
Okay.
So
All right. That
maybe,
sounds
but I think they have heaters out there too.
good.
So yeah,
Good. Yeah, I'll dress warm. You too.
yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Okay. Well, I'll see you in
Yay.
the morning then.
Okay, sounds good, Jill.
All right.
See you then.
Okay.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.